What is going on? The Yosemite Guide here, coming at you from Sentinel Dome Taft Point Trailhead in Yosemite National Park. And today we're gonna head out to Taft Point first. Sorry, I'm having a little trouble with this hat. It's kind of funny looking, but I've got a sun situation out here. I'm trying to get maximum protection on that, so I apologize if looking a little funny today. But anyways, we're gonna head out to Taft Point first, and then follow the Pohono Trail that's going to take us out to Glacier Point, and then we're going to come back and check out Sentinel Dome and then head back on that. So it should be a good time, and we'll see what we can get into here. All right, and maybe I can just cut real quick to driving directions here, and we'll show you the way up, turning on Glacier Point Road and heading up towards Glacier Point. And we're coming up on Chinkapin here. This is the approach to Glacier Point Road. We're just under 17 miles from the south gate, heading towards Yosemite Valley. And we're gonna turn right onto Glacier Point Road here. And from here, we are going, Glacier Point is 16 miles up this road, but our trailhead for Sentinel Dome is gonna be about 13 miles up, maybe a little over 13 miles up this road, and we'll see if we can find parking up here. All right, here we are, just under 13 miles up Glacier Point Road. We got our Sentinel Dome and Taft Point trailhead. It's looking pretty full here. So let's see if we can't find parking spot somewhere. I'm gonna try this upper parking spot here. Parking can be tough on this trailhead. It's not looking really good right now. Oh shit. Look at that. Lucked out. And we're here at the start of the trail. You got a split, you go left to Taft Point, right is to Sentinel Dome. And it's just over 1 mile each way. So you're looking at 2.2 miles round trip. And you can go out and back to Taft Point, out and back to Sentinel Dome, make it back here, and that's pretty cool. Or you can do a loop on it, and that would be about 3 miles on that. But I'm gonna head out to Taft Point first, and we're gonna continue on this way here. And there's two parking lots, main parking lots for this Sentinel Dome Taft Point trailhead, and we passed the first parking lot, but you just come down from right there. So we're going to continue on out to Taft Point and get on that Pohono Trail. We got Taft Point 1 mile, and it's pretty early in the season here, so a lot of water still flowing through here. And we're coming up on a little split in the trail here. So this is our turn to Sentinel Dome from here, and Glacier Point 2.9 miles from here. But we're gonna hit Taft Point first and continue on down. And these Taft Point Sentinel Dome hikes are a nice beginner hikes that if you have well, if you have kids, I'd probably just do Sentinel Dome, just because Taft Point, you're going right to the edge of the valley, and it could be a little bit dangerous. You don't want to get too close to the edge there, because that's bad news. But Sentinel Dome, both of them are not a ton of elevation gain, pretty easy going, and Sentinel Dome is a great one for the kids, or just to stretch the legs out after you hit Glacier Point. A little bit muddy still here, but this will dry up. fairly quickly in another month. Yeah, definitely some really muddy spots through here that being barefoot definitely comes in handy on this kind of stuff. So, feels good. It's a really soft trail pretty much all the way through, so it's pretty nice. And things are starting to open up as we get closer here to the what they call the fissures, little cracks along the edge that go straight down. And then Taft Point coming up. Took me about 15 minutes to get out to this point, but I was kind of at a light jog. So, but one thing to keep in mind, Taft Point is uphill on the way out of here. So if you want an easier one, Sentinel Dome, you just do that out and back. It's 2.2 miles round trip, and that's going to be your easier option for sure. But I mean, the elevation gain isn't anything to write home about, so I'd do them both. Another shot at the fissures here. That is just a long way down. Can't help but get the heebie-jeebies a little bit standing so close to the edge here. Pretty cool though. The valley's 3,000 feet below down there. So we're going to check out Taft Point now and then get started on our ultimate destination of Glacier Point. And there's always going to be a lot of people on these trails just because of the easy access and fairly easy hiking terrain. So just know that parking could be tough, and get an early start on it. Alright. Pretty cool. There we go. Beautiful shot of El Cap. Yosemite Falls. Just pumping. Still got a decent amount of snow up in the high Sierras, over 9,000 feet. Crazy gap. Really dangerous spot in the wintertime. If you're out here on cross-country skis or something. And it is a little bit steep going back up from Taft Point. So be prepared for that. It's uphill on the way back. And coming back up on the Sentinel Dome Taft Point loop. So we're gonna make a left here and charge our way up towards Sentinel Dome, and we'll probably try and hit that on the way back because I'm under a little bit of time constraint here. So we got 2.3 miles to Sentinel, 2.9 to Glacier Point. Got to the gate at about 8:45, and there was quite a line. Took me a half hour to actually get inside the gate, so keep that in mind, that you want to get an early start on things. You'll be a lot happier. Right now most of the crowds are on the out and backs to Sentinel Dome and Taft Point. So on this outer loop section on the Pohono here, it's definitely a lot less people, so it's kind of nice doing the loop. And we're coming up on some nice
nice views here of the valley and Yosemite Falls. Let's see if I can spot it here. Yeah, it's kind of a cool vantage point. Yeah, it's pretty neat. And we're coming up on a little creek crossing here. So you can see there's a little split off to the left, and there's some safer crossing options over there for you. But we're just going to cross this creek right here. It's not too deep, it's not flowing fast. I think we're good. Ooh, the water is cold though. Yeah, we got some logs piled up over there that make for an easy crossing. Some more nice lookouts for us here. Continue onwards towards Glacier Point. Here's a really cool part of the trail. We just got the constant Yosemite Falls view. Yeah. Yeah, no shortage of views on this hike, that's for sure. And things just got kind of real on the trail here. Got pretty steep pretty quick. So I guess it doesn't matter which way you're going on this one. You're gonna run into some steepness. And plenty of down trees on the trail here, giving you some challenges to navigate, but nothing too crazy. Leaning tree here, and the lower Yosemite Falls opening up to us here. It's really cool. And this is definitely in the more moderate to kind of intermediate range, I think, with the elevation gain and drop in the middle of this loop here. You can see you get a really good drop by that creek crossing, so it's pretty much uphill both ways there. That's really cool. And here we are on our split to the trail. So you want to go up to the right for Sentinel Dome. We'll probably hit that on the way back. It's about a half mile up that way, but we're going to stay left on the Pohono and head out to Glacier Point. I will note I didn't get it in the video, but we got Glacier Point 1 mile, so we're doing pretty good on time, I think. There was a little service road that cut in on that loop trail there, and there's no signage or anything, but you want to just stay on the trail and don't break off on that service road. Sorry I wasn't able to show that, but just stick to the trail and you'll be great. Coming up on our first real good half dome views here. Look at this. This just never gets old right here. So we got valley floor via 4-mile trail, 4.77 miles. The dome is looking good. Got Cloud's Rest towering behind it there. And this last mile, or less than a mile, down to Glacier Point is just all dropping in elevation, which is kind of nice. But I'll definitely be feeling it on the way back. Doing pretty good all in all. I'm about hour and 45 minutes into my hike. Not too bad. And then we got Glacier Point, 0.4 miles here. We could see some structures coming up. And here we are coming down on Glacier Point, the summertime zoo that Glacier Point is. It's always kind of weird hiking to somewhere you could drive to, but Glacier Point's pretty special. A lot of Yosemite history here. Got traditional Nevada Fall half dome shot there.
Good job, Jay.
Tenaya Canyon, heading back towards Tuolumne. And a really nice shot from Glacier Point here. Nevada Fall there. Beautiful half dome. Got a nice little gift shop open up here. Good place to get some ice cream.
I know, it's so cool.
Or a little snack on your Glacier Point adventure. Okay, so that was Glacier Point there. And going back up, want to make sure we get back on the right trail. So we got a little split here. That's the start of the Panorama Trail. It's I think 5.2 down to Nevada Falls that way. Illilouette Fall is like 2 miles. But yeah, nice shot of Nevada through the trees. But we're gonna head back up, and we got 1.5 miles to Sentinel Dome, and then another 1.1 back to the car. So I'm looking at about 2.6, maybe a little further. I think it's probably closer to 3. These signs, you just never know. But yeah, as I was saying about Glacier Point and the history there, they had that Mountain House Tavern in the late 1800s, and they actually built a hotel up there in I think 1909, and at its peak it was like 125 rooms, and they do the fire fall off there every night, or maybe once a week, I don't know, probably not every night. But it took some heavy damage in like 1968 or so, and actually that's the year they stopped doing the firefall, was in 1968, and then that hotel burned down in 1969, and they had plans to restore it, but I think people stepped in, conservation clubs, and put a stop to it, which is probably for the best. But yeah, some rich history on that one. Man, it was all fun and games coming down here, but getting out of here is no joke. It's pretty steep. Feels good to be back on the dirt though. That asphalt at Glacier Point was pretty brutal and super hot too, so feels really good to be back into the dirt for sure. Okay, made it back up to that split that I took. Came from Taft Point that way, and we're gonna head up to Sentinel Dome, half-mile up that way. So if you're doing Sentinel Dome first, coming down, you'd want to make sure you catch this split and go left towards Taft Point if you're doing the Taft Point loop. And if you wanted to add mileage onto it, you could head that way a mile down towards Glacier Point, but it's pretty brutal getting back up from there. Some serious elevation gain. So we're gonna do a little more elevation gain here, and I went ahead and threw on the old flip-flops here. So this ground was getting super hot, and I did, let me check my mileage. I did just under 8 miles barefoot. So I gotta work tonight, and I'll probably do another 10 miles there. So I'm just going to make sure my feet don't get too roughed up so I can work. So let's go check out Sentinel Dome, and then we'll get some lunch. Man, and it is a warm one today. It's 90s in Yosemite Valley, but we're up a little higher, you know, closer to 7,500 feet. So a little bit of coolness, but sun's beating down, and we're doing that elevation gain on the loop here. So I'd call this a fairly strenuous day, all in all. Another spot where access road cuts through here. So we're just gonna stay on the middle path, keep on trucking. And we got our first glimpses of Sentinel Dome here. This is where we're gonna get back into the masses. Gonna be a lot more people from here on out. So let's go check out the views. And this is where we're gonna cut back down when we head back to the car. Pretty good signage here. Sentinel Dome parking, 1.1 miles that way. So if you're just doing Sentinel Dome here, this is going to be your hardest part, is the very end, but it's not super bad. And if you're just coming out here, I mean, it's just the 1.1 miles to this spot, and then just a short uphill here, but this is going to be your hardest part of that hike. Nice 360-degree view up here, kind of Nevada Fall, Half Dome, North Dome, Yosemite Falls peeking out, El Capitan. I got a really nice shot of the moon rising years ago right through here. Maybe I could show that on screen right now, but it came out really cool. And that wind just blowing Yosemite Falls off the rock. It's pretty cool. Nice shot of Sentinel Dome here that we were just up on top of. If you're just doing the Sentinel Dome hike, you know, when you first see this, you're like, man, how are we getting on top of that? But you kind of go up gradually around the backside, and not super steep, and so it's not as difficult as it looks from here. All right, so for today's meal, we got we're going pretty simple today. I got a seafood pasta. I'm gonna boil up my pasta noodles. And I got a smoked salmon. These are really good, from Trader Joe's. And then the base of my sauce, it's gonna be a cheese sauce. I'm gonna melt down some cheese puffs here. So it's simple but gourmet. And then we're gonna hit it with the bomb. We're not messing around today. Should be good. Let's get into it. And today's lunch spot, I got a nice little seasonal creek to my right. I don't know if you can see that over there. Hopefully it's not too loud for you, but it's one of my favorite sounds. We got a little boil going on my water. So we're gonna give this a go. Hopefully I got a good angle on that. Noodles going in. Alright, so my noodles are getting close. I'm gonna start hitting this this pasta water with some of these fresh cheese balls. I'll start melting these down. Time to hit it with our lightly smoked salmon. Stuff is really good. Now we're going to bring the heat with the bomb. And doesn't take much here. Probably start with that. And look at this hot mess I got going here. Smells delightful. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit more hot sauce because I wasn't quite feeling the heat. Oh, that's plenty. I think we're ready to dig in here. Oh yeah, that's gonna be spicy. Some nice backwoods gourmet food for you. Fantastic. You got that good Italian noodle as a foundation. And normally, of course, I'd salt the noodles, but the salmon gets you plenty of salt on there. I put a little of the salmon oil in there as well. That cheese sauce is hitting pretty good. I should have brought some black pepper. Black pepper will put it over the top. Even a fresh chili. I should have brought a fresh chili. My garden's starting to kick some out right now, so I'll have some fresh chilies from my garden pretty soon. I call this like a 9.2. It's up there. This is amazing.
Oh yeah, that hit the spot good. I will be doing this again. Fantastic. All right, I think it's time to get out of here. All right, guys, well, that about does it for this one. That was an amazing lunch. That cheese sauce hit hard. Ended up doing, I think 10 miles when it's all said and done here. Taft Point, Glacier Point, Sentinel Dome. It was a good time. And don't forget to like that video and catch me on the next one. Love you. Peace out.